Hey everyone, real estate coach Craig Proctor. How you doing today? Today we're going to talk about how to get an instant pay raise by adjusting your target market. I think most people would agree that some who's are better than other who's. So we're going to talk about how you drill down into your marketplace and you find the very best opportunities so you actually make more money without having to work as hard. So let's start by having you check in with us. Let us know what place you're serving, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the marketplace and how you can look at all the different opportunities and understand that you get to choose. Okay, we understand that some buyers are better than other buyers, and some sellers are better than other sellers. But I'm going to drill down today and show you how you can use the information that's available to you right on MLS to make really, really good decisions in your marketing. Okay, you'll literally get an instant pay raise by just shifting your target market. You know, a lot of us when we get into real estate, and I ask people like, how do you select your target market or who's your target market? Most real estate agents would say, well, I don't know, anybody that wants to buy or sell a house is my target market. That's the way I used to think as well. So when I got into real estate, the neighborhood where I got my very first listing, that for no other reason became my farm area or my target market, just because I got my first listing there. It could have been anywhere. Now, a lot of us make that mistake. I want you to think about now, do you have a specific target market? Do you actually believe that some buyers are better than other buyers and some sellers are better than other sellers? Are some price ranges better for you? Are some geographical areas, some neighborhoods better for you? Well, we can go into MLS and we can analyze these stats and figure out what the best opportunity is. You'll literally make more money by using science and logic in making good decisions versus kind of just throwing a dart at the wall and saying, okay, well, this is where I'm going to, this is where I'm going to advertise. So I get into real estate. I get my first listing in this area that's okay, and that becomes my farm area. So I'm spending money there. I'm marketing there. And 10 minutes away, I discovered after years of wasting my money in this one farm area that 10 minutes away there was a much more productive neighborhood. Okay, the homes sold for 50% more. There were just as many homes selling every year. The days on the market were very similar, but the price point was 50% higher. So think about this. All I had to do was shift my energy and my marketing over to this different neighborhood, and I literally got a 50% pay raise overnight without having to sell any more houses. So that's just a quick example of how we can study the marketplace and make better decisions rather than just leave it up to chance. So think of all the different target markets that we could choose from. So we could choose different geographical neighborhoods, like I just mentioned. We could choose, maybe we want to work only with buyers or only with sellers. And if it's buyers, that drills down, right? You could decide I only want to work with first-time buyers. So we have messages, campaigns for first-time buyers. You might decide, you know what, I don't want to work with first-time buyers at all. I want to work with move-up buyers. That's smart, by the way, because a move-up buyer also has a house to sell. And the easiest way to attract a seller is to attract him as a buyer first. So one of the things I coach you up on is what are the best move-up areas in your city, right? What opportunities? Well, do you know that we can go into MLS and we can discover the highest turnover streets, the highest turnover zip codes, neighborhoods, and so we don't have to guess. We would know where the best opportunities are. And then the next step is, okay, now that I know what my target market is, what would be the best messages? What would be the best ads to run? Maybe you don't want to work with buyers at all. Maybe you want to work with first-time home sellers or move-up home sellers or luxury home sellers. Maybe you want to work with investors, right? So we've got all of these different target markets. How about empty nesters? Okay, I made a lot of money targeting neighborhoods where the people that own the homes are in their 60s. Their kids are off to college or university or out of the house, and they have a big 4 or 5 bedroom home and they want to downsize. So we can go after empty nesters. How many of you, let me know if this is making sense. Smash the like button if you like this approach of using the information that's at our fingertips on MLS so we can kind of study the marketplace and we can make much better decisions with our marketing dollars. So I'm not talking about you spending more money. I'm just talking about where you spend the money. We can make smarter decisions. Consider this. The good news for Coca-Cola is everyone in the world is their customer. That's the good news for Coca-Cola. The bad news for Coca-Cola is it costs a lot of money to talk to everybody in the world. Well, as small independent business people, we're not Coca-Cola. We have, as realtors, we have limited resources. So what I teach you is let's have an honest look at your resources and let's apply those resources in the best possible way. Because we're not Coca-Cola. We can't talk to everybody. Can't run branded advertising. We got to be very smart with our marketing. Here's an analogy. Here's what a realtor might think. Imagine somebody walking onto the beach at the ocean, okay? And they walk onto the beach and they lean over the water and they spit into the ocean. And then they say to us, hey, I just changed the ecology of the planet. No, you didn't. What you did didn't get noticed. You spit in the ocean. That's what many realtors are doing with their marketing. They've got this tiny budget and they're trying to apply it to this great big huge ocean in your marketplace, and your marketing doesn't get noticed. I was doing a consultation with an agent in Phoenix, North Phoenix. And I said, how many people live in North Phoenix? He said, I don't know, 800,000, a million people. And I said, what's your marketing budget? And he's like, $400. You see, that's the problem, right? We have limited resources and we're trying to apply these limited resources to this great big huge marketplace. And the problem is you don't get noticed. You are literally spitting in the ocean. What we want to do is I want to teach you how to shrink your target market so it's the very best target market, shrink it so it makes sense with the limited marketing dollars that you have. You and I, we don't want to be spitting in the Atlantic Ocean. What we want to do is be jumping up and down in a small puddle like the Incredible Hulk. Okay, it makes sense, right? So we've got all these opportunities. Here's another suggestion. Let's say that you find two neighborhoods that seem relatively equal in opportunity, right? They've got the same number of houses selling every year. The sales price, the average sales price is about the same. The days on the market are the same, so it doesn't take any longer to sell a house in one neighborhood versus the other. But what about agent competition? What I can have you look up is what are the competitors in that neighborhood? So if all things are equal, but there's one neighborhood that has more competition, maybe they've got a realtor that has a huge market share, like it's going to be a strong competitor. Why do that to yourself? Go work the other area where just as the same number of homes sell, same average price, days in the market is the same, but you don't have the heavy competition. So we look at all of this before we decide how you're going to spend your money. Now, whatever your budget is, we can spend that money better if we do this analysis. Is this making sense? Like, a restaurant like a McDonald's or a franchise, they don't just randomly pick locations, right? They do this kind of research to decide and understand, okay, is this the best location for our restaurant? Will we get the best traffic here? Okay, they do this kind of research. Well, in real estate, here's the good news. You and I have access to all this information. People outside of real estate say to me all the time, man, you realtors are so lucky because you have information on every single transaction, every house that sells, how long it was on the market, what it was listed for, what it sold for, what the owner before that paid for. Like, you've got all this information. You just need to be coached up on how to use this. Now, once we determine what our ideal target market is, okay, remember what I said at the beginning. Some who's are better than other who's. No one would argue that. Some buyers are better than other buyers. Some sellers are better than other sellers. Some neighborhoods are better than other neighborhoods. One of the searches we can do for you is highest turnover streets in your area, okay, in your city, okay, highest turnover zip codes. If you're sending out any direct mail, because here's what I used to do. I didn't know this information, so I would send out direct mail like randomly throughout the city. And then when I had this information, I learned that some streets have way higher turnover than other streets. Do you know that no matter what city you go to, anywhere in North America, about 30% of the sales are done on 10% of the streets. 30% of the sales are done in 10% of the streets. So you could focus on, you could ignore 90% of the streets and still get a third of the sales. When you have this good information, you can start to make really good decisions. Now, many of you know what happened to me. Within 3 years of having my real estate license, I was named the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world. Not in the country. I was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world within 36 months of having my real estate license. Now, understand, I'd never sold anything before. Okay, I didn't know anything about marketing, didn't really have any confidence. I got into real estate making the same mistake that most of us make. We look around at what all the other agents are doing. We do what they tell us to do. We kind of do marketing. We do door knocking. You do open houses. You chase FSBOs, expireds. I did all that stuff. And I got very average results in the first year. It wasn't until I became a student of marketing that I was blown away that there's an actual science to this. And we call this the triple M formula, M like McDonald's. So let me lay this on. If you're taking notes, this is really good stuff. If you want to make the most amount of money in real estate, okay, you've got to learn how to do business with strangers. Okay, does that make sense to you? Like, I talk to a lot of realtors that say, 90% of my business comes from referrals. Well, that just tells me you don't sell much real estate. Because imagine if you had a restaurant and the restaurant was limited to friends and family. How long would your restaurant be in business for? Not long, right? So I'm not saying don't go after referrals. Of course, that's the gravy. We want to have as many referrals as we can. But imagine adding, in addition to all the referrals that you normally get, adding marketing that causes strangers to contact you. Okay, I'm not talking about cold calling or anything like that. I'm talking about running effective marketing so you know how much money you're spending and you have a very trackable return on the investment. So if you knew that every time you spent $300 on marketing and advertising that you could get a closing, whatever a closing's worth to you, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000. But if you knew that, let me know in the comments how many of you would be interested in ramping your marketing up. If you 1,000% knew that every time you invested $300 in X, you got a closing. Well, that's what I started to understand. I started to play around and I started to test. What did I test? I tested some neighborhoods versus other neighborhoods, like different. My message was going out to different types of buyers and sellers. The next thing I had to test is, what is the message? Okay, the message, your offer matters, right? We can't be talking about, I'm going to email you the houses that are on the internet, or I'm going to represent your best interest, or I've lived in this city for 17 years. We have to understand what it is that buyers and sellers want. I want to teach you unique offers where the buyers and sellers will sit up and pay attention and say, yes, I want that. Now, the key is our offer or our message has to be, number one, something buyers and sellers really want. You can't offer them something they don't want. Okay, maybe that's what you're doing right now, right? You're offering, a listing that you have that they're not interested in. We want to make a universal offer. The problem with advertising a house, a listing, is it has narrow appeal. You tell me, in all the years you've been selling real estate, what percentage of the time when you get a sign call or an ad call on one of your listings, does the buyer say, oh my God, this is the house of my dreams? No, usually what happens is you give them the information and they tell you why it's not right for them. It's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location or whatever, and boom, they want to get off the phone. When they eliminate the house, it's like they've eliminated you. So instead, here's what we're going to offer. We're going to offer a service, and we can help buyers find not only the homes that are on the internet, which they can do on their own, but more powerful than that, what if you offered buyers to find them homes that were not on the internet? Okay? What if you were able to get access to unlisted, off-market, and pre-market properties? If you could say to them, hey, if you're tired of looking at the overpriced, picked over listings on Zillow or on the internet, would you like to get access to some really good deals that are not available to the open public? Did you know, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, that some of the best homes don't even make it to the open market? We can get you priority access to homes that are a perfect match for you before any other buyer wants to know about them. Now, before you judge that idea, okay, before you type in the comments, we're not allowed to do that. That's a pocket listing. This is not a pocket listing. I'm not talking about you listing a property at all. I'm just saying if you were the buyer and I could help you find homes that were not yet listed for sale, they're not listed with anybody. We're not talking about any listing. I'm talking about a service. Okay, we call this the Craig Proctor VIP buyer service, and I've been teaching this to agents for years and years and years. When you start offering buyers something that they can't get on their own, right? They don't know how to get the off-market properties on their own, and it's not something being offered by any other agent. Now think about what you're offering right now. If your big offer to buyers is, oh, well, I can set you up on updates on the homes that you can find on the internet, they don't need you for that. And they know they don't need you for that. If you're talking about representing their best interest, they want to represent their own best interest. And let's face it, now that the buyers know who has the homes listed, they could go directly to the listing agent. They can go around you, and their thinking is, I could save more money without you. What are you going to say to that? So you have to have the right marketplace, but you've got to have the right message. Now, the third M like McDonald's, the third M in the Craig Proctor Triple M formula is the media. Okay, so we've got to have the right marketplace. That's the geographical area. That's the type of buyer or seller that I most want to attract. How do I know I most want to attract them? Because I've done the research. I've decided which streets, which neighborhoods, what price ranges will make me the most amount of money. Next, well, what do they want? Well, we're going to offer them something that they highly want, that they don't know how to get on their own, and it's not offered by any other agent. Now, the third M in the Triple M formula is the media. Okay? What media are we going to use to deliver that marketing message to that marketplace? Does that make sense? So what media do we have today? Well, for years, we had print, right? We had magazines and we had newspapers, and that was pretty much it. Okay, today we have Facebook. Okay, Facebook does a great job. Their algorithm will deliver our marketing messages inexpensively to real estate agents. The algorithm is so smart, it will find buyers and sellers. Okay, it will find buyers and sellers, and these are people that have visited Zillow, they've done certain things. We will figure out how to deliver your message to the right people. Also, with Facebook, for $0, we can use Marketplace. Okay, Facebook Marketplace, $0. Let me know if you can afford $0. Okay, this is sort of the modern classified ads of the day. But it's better than like Craigslist because the prospects actually have to identify who they are, right, when they set up their Facebook account. So we teach you free offers that you can make for $0 on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, hey, I'm low on money, how do I get started? You might be thinking it takes money to make money. No, not at all. It takes smarts to make money. You just need to be coached up on what do I do? What should the message be that I run for $0 on Facebook Marketplace? Now, the other thing I want to teach you is creating good content. We're going to create educational-based content, and we're going to push that content out. We're going to use Facebook. Okay, we can do Facebook Lives like I'm doing right now. I'm giving you a presentation right now. Let me know if you like the presentation. Smash the like button, or maybe give me a little heart. Okay, so if you smash the like button and you give me a little heart, that's engagement. And the more people that watch this video and engage with this video, the Facebook algorithm will show this this presentation that I'm doing right now. In my case, it'll show it to more real estate agents. But in your case, I would show you how more buyers and sellers in your marketplace would see your content. Now, we've been at this now for about 20 minutes, and you're still watching it, right? Because I'm giving you a good presentation. You see value in this. So what I want to teach you to do is I want you to do that in your community. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, what would I talk about? Or I'm kind of nervous, or I don't like how I look or how I sound. Look, this is how you look when you show up at the house. This is how you sound when you meet the buyer or seller. So we got to get over that. And as far as you don't know what to say, come on, you're a real estate agent. You know way more about the subject of buying and selling real estate than any of your prospects. So how many of you would agree, for example, that if a seller, if you visited a seller and had a look around at their house, that you could give them information based on previewing their home on inexpensive things that they could do to sell their home for, I don't know, maybe $8,000 to $10,000 more? What would you recommend? You might recommend if they got, crazy paint, purple walls, like neutralize, paint, that's inexpensive. Clean the carpets, or maybe you replace the carpets. Stage the furniture a little bit. Do a little bit of landscaping. You do this anyway, right? Well, why don't we do a video on this? Okay? Why don't you talk about all the things that you are very good at, that you know about, and that would interest sellers, right? How about this? How do I pick a real estate agent? How do I buy a home when I already own a home? Do I need to do open houses? Are they necessary? How do I get the best financing? How do I avoid home inspection reports? All of this information you know. So think about the most common questions that buyers and sellers ask you. That's an opportunity for you to create an educational video. Now, you're going to make an offer. Okay, so watch me make an offer right now. I've done a great presentation. I've got a lot of you watching. Eventually, thousands of real estate agents will watch this. Here's how this works. Some of you are watching it live right now. But when this is over, I can take this presentation and I can push this out to hundreds of thousands of real estate agents that have watched Craig Proctor content prior. So this will be viewed by thousands of agents, most of them after the fact. And it's very inexpensive, about 1 to 2 pennies to send this out. We're going to teach you how to do this. You're going to produce good content, and then we're going to push it out to your selected target market. Doesn't it feel good to know that you're in charge? You get to control who you want to talk to and who you don't want to talk to. You can attract the buyers and sellers that you want the most. You can attract them with the proper marketing like a magnet. But you can also repel buyers and sellers you don't want. When you understood that, look what happened to me. I go from as dumb as a pile of rocks to the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world. Was that supposed to happen? Somebody like me that's only had their license for 36 months? It had nothing to do with me being the best real estate agent or the most experienced real estate agent. I barely knew what I was doing, right? But what I was really good at was marketing. Some of you have the opposite problem. Some of you are highly skilled. I mean, you know you're a good realtor, right? You're experienced. You care about your buyers and sellers. You do a great job. Your problem is you're battling obscurity, right? Buyers and sellers can't call you if they don't know who you are. And your marketing has to be better than just them knowing who you are. Let me explain what I mean. Because a lot of real estate agents think, well, marketing's about creating an awareness. Kind of, partly. How many of you have had friends or relatives, people that you know quite well, list their home with another real estate agent over the last couple of years? Right? It's frustrating. It's kind of hurtful, right? If there's someone you know, a friend of a friend, someone in your sphere, and they don't do business with you. Now, they knew you're a real estate agent, but they still didn't do business with you. So that's why we know that marketing has to be more than about just creating an awareness. Because you've already got people you know quite well that don't, work with you. They work with somebody else. The marketing has to not only create an awareness so strangers know who you are, but this is most important. They need to understand what makes you different and better. Okay? So they wouldn't dream of using an ordinary real estate agent. Now, when you understand that kind of messaging, because that's what I figured out, that's what made me successful. I had a killer message, and they couldn't get it anywhere else. Okay? I made it easy and non-threatening for people to come to me. All I had to do was answer the phone. Come list me. Come help me buy a house. How helpful would that be to you guys? Here's the great news. I started coaching real estate agents almost 30 years ago, teaching them what I do, teaching them what I was doing. And here is the miracle. What I was doing works for you. It's totally transferable. I've had over 30,000 agents through my coaching and through my training over the last 30 years, I have created more millionaire real estate agents than any other coach, trainer, guru. There might be other coaches out there that have whatever, more clients or whatever. That's not really my interest. My interest is working hand on hand with real estate agents that want to become millionaires. Okay? So if you're watching this right now, you might have fire in your belly, right? You know there's more. You see other real estate agents in your marketplace that are doing much better than you. Many of them are being coached by me. Okay, these are agents that are making millions of dollars a year. Do you know that I've got several clients right now that are making over $1 million every month, every 30 days with Craig Proctor Marketing? So here's what I'd like to invite you to do. Why don't you book a call with me so we can work on your marketing? It's free of charge. If someone could type into the comments below, proctorcall.com, that's a link to my Acuity Day Timer. You can book a day and a time. We can work on your marketing. Okay, think about this. What if it's true that in a quick conversation, we could figure out what the best opportunities are for you? I'm not talking about you working harder. I'm not teaching you how to do more of the old stuff. You're never going to hear from Craig Proctor, oh, if you want to do better, you should knock on more doors, or you should make more cold calls, or you should pester more people for referrals. It's not about that. It's about, how do I attract strangers? Right? There's a hell of a lot more people in the world that don't know you than people that know you. So you're already getting referrals from people that know you. Let's add, in addition to that, the people in your city, in your area that don't know who you are, and they don't understand what makes you different and better. Now, this is inexpensive to do. I have done this presentation in front of you here today. This cost me $0. $0 to do this. I gave you a presentation. Now, do you notice how I didn't need to meet with you at your kitchen table to show you this presentation? That's the same for you. Right now, you might be convinced, oh, I got to call hundreds of buyers and sellers to get them on the phone and try to convince them to meet with me so I can show them how good I am. Unnecessary, right? Today, we can do a presentation on video just like this, and we can send that presentation to all your unconverted leads. We could analyze your marketplace. We could understand, what are the best opportunities? Who do you want to attract? Let's go and do a bit of research and discover, okay, is that a good idea? You know, because sometimes what we think is not a good idea. When we look at the facts, we realize, well, you know, I could target that neighborhood, but holy crap, there's only been 4 houses sell in the last year in that neighborhood. That would not be a good decision. I was talking to a lady in Florida. We were talking about our target market, and I said, you know, what's your target market? Oh, it's the luxury condo that I live in. I said, okay, let's do some research. Well, there were 11 sales in the last year, but her goal was to do 50 transactions, and she wanted to only focus in this luxury condo. That would be a terrible marketing idea, because even if she got 100% market share, which is unlikely, right, that 100% of the 11 home sellers are going to choose her, she's not going to reach her goal. So we want to look at this from the 30,000 foot level. Right? What's your goal? Now let's reverse engineer this thing. What's the best way to do this? How many of you would be okay with reaching your goal in the easiest way? That's the way I look at it. Let's figure out the best way. There's got to be an easiest way. Well, here's the easiest way. Let's find the most attractive target market, right? Some buyers are better than others. Some sellers are better. Let's find the best buyer and seller opportunities. Let's deliver a marketing message that is a killer marketing message, that when buyers and sellers see it, like, wow, I really want that. It's not something I can find by myself on the internet. It's not something other real estate agents are offering, right? Make it easy and non-threatening for them to come to you, right? Do a video presentation that costs you $0, and everyone that watches your stuff, if it's on Facebook, right now, you're all pixeled. Now, I don't have your phone number, right? I don't have your email address, but I'm okay with that because I've got you pixeled here. That means tomorrow and the next day, in a week from now, you'll start to see my content in your news feed, whether you want to or not. How many of you already noticed that? You've watched some of my stuff. You're like, holy cow, I'm seeing Craig's stuff all the time. And if I'm delivering good content and I'm delivering this for free, some of you are going to book a call with me. You're going to go to proctorcall.com. Again, if someone can type that in, and we're going to have a really good conversation. And you're going to think, hey, you know what? I know, and I don't know what I don't know. Let me show you what you don't know. Okay, you know how to do what you're doing, whatever that is, 20 transactions a year, 50 transactions. You know how to do that. But you ever think to yourself, what else don't I know? All you have to do is find somebody that's a little bit ahead of you. There's nothing really confusing about this. It's quite easy for you guys to implement this. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's not that difficult to do it. I'm just doing a presentation to you right now that costs $0. Right now, we're going to deliver this presentation. I'm going to deliver it to real estate agents all over the country. Not any kind of real estate agents. I'm going to target the best real estate agents that I believe want to hear this message. Let's do this for you. Let's figure out who are your ideal buyers and sellers in your marketplace. What is going to be your message? What's going to be your killer message? It's, we're not doing spouses selling houses or, advertising the Remax balloon, or I've been in real estate for 17 years and I really care about your business. I'm going to represent your... No, we can't do that standard stuff. That's what everyone else is saying. Buyers and sellers are immune to that. But there are things that they really care about. I want to show you how to test these offers. You're going to know right away. As soon as you start running Craig Proctor marketing, you're going to know right away you're in the right place. I want to thank everybody for watching this. Make sure you smash the like button here, okay? Maybe give me a little heart. Let me know that you enjoyed this. This is free. This is just me giving back to you. If you want to get more information, have a conversation, you can go to proctorcall.com. I also have a private Facebook group. Some of you might be interested. I've got about 7,000 top realtors. So if you're the type of realtor that would like to actually speak to other real estate agents that are using the Craig Proctor system, they're making high 6 and 7 figure income, all you have to do is type into the comments below private group. Okay, and I'll get you an invitation. It costs $0, no commitment or obligation. I just want you to mix with other real estate agents from all over the country that are successfully doing what we're talking today. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to start to meet other agents. You're going to be like, well, they're no different than me. If they can do it, I can do it. Now, why would I want to help you become successful? That's my strategy. The easiest way for me to battle through any skepticism that you might have is, why don't I just show you how to do this? Why don't I just pay it forward, help you start using Craig Proctor strategies, and you will become a client of mine, right? And you're going to do the same thing with your clients. You're going to help buyers and sellers by providing them all kinds of great information. Your buyers and sellers are going to get to know your personality. They're going to feel kind of like they know you. How many of you kind of feel like you know me now, right? You've been watching several of my presentations. Well, that's where it starts. You want to build awareness and trust and credibility with the buyers and sellers, and they will call you. Now, this is important that they call you because you know the buyers and sellers are not answering the phone. Honestly, let me know in the comments, if you were to call 100 prospects, maybe they're Zillow leads or Realtor, whatever, 100 of them, honestly, out of 100, how many would you get on the phone? You tell me, out of 100, how many would you get on the phone? I mean, if you called them and called them, now that's pretty depressing, right? If you have to call 100 prospects to speak to 3 or 4 or 5 prospects just to try to convince them to get to the kitchen table so you can show them how good you are, why are we doing that? It's completely unnecessary. They don't want to answer the phone. That's why you don't like making the calls, right? You realize your calls are unwanted, but they're also unnecessary. You don't need to meet with people to tell them how good you are and what you do that's different or better. You can record a video with all your benefits. It might sound like this. Hi, I'm Craig Proctor with ABC Realty. If you're thinking of selling your house here in whatever area, here are the services that I provide. This is what makes me different and better. You could say in 15 or 20 minutes, you could tell the buyers and sellers what makes you different and better. What would you say at the kitchen table? Now, maybe you're not saying the right things at the kitchen table. I can help you with that as well. Part of it's generating the leads, but let's face it, you could generate leads, you could have terrible follow-up, and then you would say, oh, the leads are no good. Or you could generate the leads, have good follow-up, And now you have appointments with buyers and sellers, but if you don't know what to say, you could still blow it. Okay, so let's work on the marketing strategy, the target market. Let's work on your message, what you're saying, including the words that come out of your mouth, what you're going to say to buyers and sellers to cause them to want to do business with you or at least meet with you. And notice that the presentation is first, right? Then they call you. Don't call them so you can do the presentation. Do a good presentation so then they'll call you. See, we're flipping that around. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this. Did you guys enjoy it? I hope you did. Okay, I'm real estate coach Craig Proctor. I'm here to help you. If you want to email me, by the way, I'll give you my personal email address. It's craig@craigproctor.com, craig@craigproctor.com. If you want to be part of the private Facebook group, just type in private group in the comments. Someone from my team will get you the invitation so you can get inside there. But why don't we book a call so we can discuss your business? It costs $0. It's not some big sales pitch or anything like that. I'm good. I don't need your money. Whatever you do, you keep doing what you're doing, or you want to do this, I'm cool with that. But you can book a call. We'll walk through what you're doing, talk about what your goals are, and we would give you free suggestions on what we think you should do. Now, if all of this makes sense, you might think, well, maybe I'd like to work with Craig at some level because everything so far is he's over-delivered on. It totally makes sense. That would be great. Okay, I mean, that's really the strategy here is pay it forward, share your message. You're going to get clients that way if you're really helpful to people. That's what I want you folks to do as well. So I hope you found this extremely helpful today. Remember, you can share this with other realtors you know that you think this message would be beneficial to. But hopefully we'll see some of you on the other side. Thank you so much for watching this. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor. This is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.